you probably clicked on this video because you're like, you know what, my life sucks. And it probably does. And the first part is being true to yourself. So self-awareness. So good job. And I can tell you the exact reason why, because I've been there. I know how it feels to have your life suck, to feel so much loneliness, even when you're surrounded by people, to kind of constantly have that devil on your shoulder, that anxiety in the back of your mind telling you, hey, you suck, you won't like amount to anything, hey, all these people are doing better than you. That comparison, that self-criticism, it freaking sucks. And one of the biggest reasons why you feel so shitty, honestly, is because you are on your phone 24/7. You are. And I mean, I'm so guilty of this too, and I hate to admit it, but I am. Um, our phone is it. Oh my God, it's literally the devil, and I hate it. And I wish social media was never created. I wish phones were never created, but it is. And the heart, and that's the thing. Like, we are always on our phones. Being on our phones, like, even though you may not feel it, it creates so much stress inside of us, and your body definitely feels it. Even if you like mentally don't, you will later. I know that when I'm like on Instagram, I'm scrolling, even if like none of the stuff I'm viewing and consuming is necessarily stressful, like just being there, like barely blinking, just consuming so much content in such a little amount of time, like my brain is working overtime. Your body does stress out, and then after that you feel completely empty almost, and then kind of this like wave of depression hits over you, and you're like, oh well, I mean, it's already 6 now, it's like after dinner, like you wasted so much time. So first reason that you feel your life sucks is because all of your valuable time is being wasted when you could be doing something so much more productive. And I feel like this is not crazy, but sometimes like you honestly just need to hear it. Like, you need to put that phone away. That's it. You need to put that phone away. You need to delete your social media apps and maybe get it back whenever you feel like you can honestly use it with like a stricter timeline. If you're like, okay, you know what, I've done everything, now I can give myself 10 minutes, but if I give myself 30, it's okay too. Maybe you need to have a healthy relationship. It's honestly kind of like alcohol. Like, you should not be drinking all the time, but once in a while, if you dabble on it, sure, it's not going to kill you. And you usually end up feeling shitty after anyway. So, oh my God, literally, your phone is like alcohol. It is a drug. So one thing is your phone, and it's so much time wasted. You could be doing so much better things with your life. And which brings me to my number 2 point, is that your life probably sucks because you don't have a hobby. What are you doing? Scrolling on your phone? Oh, you go to the gym 3 times a day? That's not a hobby. That's not a hobby. Okay. I mean, unless like the other days that you're not going to the gym, you're doing something else, then sure. But, oh yeah, I go to the gym 3 times a day. Oh yeah, I'll pick up a book and read like 2 pages. No, that's not a real hobby. Your phone is your hobby right now, and that's not okay. You need to find a hobby. And 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 having something, I honestly cannot say this enough. So like, bring out your notebook, bring out your pen, pencil, and write it down, because I cannot say this loud enough. Having a creative outlet is so important, because your first priority in your life is either you're a mom, either you're a caretaker, either you're a wife, either you're a student, either you're a teacher, like your job. That is kind of our first priority. That's, like, it makes us money. It's something that like we are obligated to do, and sure, that's fine. Have that as a priority, but like, you having that priority means you are not prioritizing yourself, right? So having a creative outlet, like, it allows you to have something that is of your own, that is something that you can do without having to think about, okay, is this going to make me money? Okay, is this, like let's do things because we're not thinking about like money, basically. Like, go and pick up a paintbrush and paint, and like, in your mind, don't think like, oh my god, what if I'm really good at this and I can sell this? Go and journal and not think like, oh my god, what if I publish this? Go and, make content and not think about, oh my god, like, what if, like, I become a content creator? Which, I mean, it's totally okay if that's what you want to do, but sometimes, like, if you are not someone that has hobbies, sometimes that really stops us, and you cannot think like that. Just go and have fun and find a hobby that is, you don't have to spend lots of money. Oh my god, there's so much things out on the internet, so many inexpensive stuff that you can do. I'll even put like some like a list that I made. I also wrote a whole Substack post about this that I will link in my description. Please go read it because I think it's so good. And in this video, I'm not able to like get out all the information, but in my Substack, I go full in depth. It's so good. It's like one of my favorite ones that I've written, and it's free, so don't worry, I'm not trying to take your money. But anyways, you don't have an outlet, you don't have something to like release all your stress, and so it builds up. You'll get angry easily, you'll get irritated easily, because it's all just built up in our minds. Like, even if like we don't feel it, like our body feels it, and it's so important to have something to let it out. And whether it's working out, whether it's running, I mean, it's just something that like you're doing because you genuinely want to, and not because like, oh, you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to do this and this. Like, just find something that you want to do because you genuinely want to do. Now, number 3, your life sucks because you're probably not getting good sleep. And this is something that I'm so passionate about, and it's something that like I've been telling my husband to do, and he has been doing it, and it's been like changing his sleep. So he was like working until 9:30, would shut off his laptop, freshen up for, bedtime, and then just go to bed. Just raw dog bedtime. And I was like, no wonder you're not sleeping well, because he would always complain like, oh, I'm like waking up at 2 a.m. I'm not sleeping, like, like, should I just take melatonin? And he was just taking melatonin, but even that wasn't really working. And I was like, sir, you don't have a night routine. Like, where's your tea? Where's your book? Where's your journal? Like, what do you mean? Like, where's your 5 minutes of just breathing? You need to have a good routine before bed. You need to decompress before bed. You've had a long day. Whether you did nothing that day or you did so much during that day, your body needs time in the evening to decompress. And like, one thing that he says, and I'm sure like a lot of people feel like this, because I know like I feel like this, is he'll be like, oh my god, as soon as I get into bed, like, as soon as I'm not consuming something, or all these thoughts are just in my head, and like now I'm just like thinking about so many things, and I can't go to bed because like, I just have so much going on in my mind. Okay, cool. Like, you will probably always have so much going on in your mind. Even if life is going super well, even if you're super happy, super successful, like, so, you'll always have so much going on in your head, because like, we're human. That's fine. But you are not decompressing. Of course, every thought is in your head and it comes out all at once, because throughout the day you're probably not decompressing. You're probably not taking time to breathe, to, notice these thoughts, during the day, and all you're doing is like, you're on the computer, you're working, you're, running around. You're not ever decompressing. So, and it's fine if you don't have time during the day to decompress, but that's where the nighttime is for. Set out 10 minutes, set out 5 minutes, 30 minutes, if honestly you can, to just breathe and just sit there with yourself, and just kind of like, kind of notice your thoughts, basically acknowledge your thoughts, and be like, okay, cool, whatever. One thing that really helps me is journaling. And like, you don't need to go and journal like your feelings and stuff. I feel like whenever people say journaling, like, they feel the need to like do it every single day, or like write down pages, or write down how they're feeling, and they find that super cringy, which is your own problem, because I don't think that's cringy at all, and I think it's amazing to be in touch with your emotions, but that's a conversation for another day. But just write down kind of everything that's on your mind. Just write it down. You don't need to solve it, just write it down. And so I think good sleep honestly just begins with a good night routine. And I can go into the specifics of like, okay, drink water 2 hours before bed. Like, I go to bed at 9. I'm done with my tea at 7, because in case I need to go pee before 9, I'm going pee. I'm not drinking any water before. I eat dinner at 6 to 6:30, sometimes 7, sure, whatever. But and now my heart rate is not so high when I'm going to bed because it's not trying to digest any food. There's so much into it. There's so much research you can do, but because you're not sleeping well because you don't have a good night routine, and of course, poor sleep affects your whole day, and you're just kind of like lazy, groggy. Now you don't have energy. Okay, and then like you're just kind of being a bum all day. Sorry, you are. Another reason that your life really sucks is probably because like you do not have boundaries within yourself or with other people. You probably say yes to so many things. You probably do so many things because you're so like scared to say no or feel like, okay, like sure, let me like I feel bad. No. No, I'm not like telling you I'm not telling you to like be a bad person or anything, but like you need to set boundaries for yourself. You need to like really know yourself to understand like how much you can handle. If someone like, your friends or your coworkers or, if someone is an energy vampire, like you don't need to acknowledge them all the time. You can like, set boundaries in such a healthy way. I don't know all the ways, but I know that if you are a people pleaser, this is definitely a big struggle for you because hello, people pleaser here. I know this. Having, yeah, just like just saying yes to so many things because I mean, like, oh, like they're a good friend, oh, but or like, oh, I mean, they asked nicely, or like, oh, I mean, I guess I'm not doing anything. No, like you have to really sit with yourself, like, okay, do I actually really want to do this? Like, will this actually bring so much value into my life? Like maybe I can do one thing, but I don't need to do all of it. I don't know, like really set boundaries with it. And sometimes you don't need to tell them, oh, hey, I'm setting a boundary. Just be like, hey, like, you know what? I'm actually busy. But let's do this instead. Or, do something that you want to do. Like, I don't know, like, I think the people pleasing habits, like, just take so much out of us and energy out of us because you are just kind of just saying yes to everything and you're not prioritizing yourself and what you actually want to do, and then you don't really become fulfilled. You know what I mean? Like you don't really become fulfilled that way. You're just kind of like going along with other people's plans and like scared of what other people are going to say, and this whole goes down to like caring about what other people think, and that's one of the biggest ways to really hate your life. So that's one of the other thing. Okay, now number 4 or wherever we are, your life sucks because you probably don't have big like you probably don't have big what's the word I'm trying to say, like ambition. Like you're probably not ambitious. Sure, you probably have a great 9 to 5. You probably make decent money, but are you ambitious? Like, do you want something more out of your life, or are you so happy with where you are? And you can be so happy with like your job or your career or whatever it may be, but if you're not striving for anything, if you're not continuously challenging yourself, like your life will suck. Sorry, like it's human nature to like want more and do more, and this necessarily does not mean like, oh, you can't live in the present. It just means like, hey, like you need to be a little bit more ambitious. You need to want a little bit more for yourself, and you need to like challenge yourself because as we challenge ourselves, and once we accomplish that challenge, we feel so proud of ourselves, and that is the motivation to keep going. Like I don't know, like you're human, like you're supposed to evolve, and like just like we're not ever supposed to just like hit like a point where we're just like, okay, yeah, this is fine, like I'm content. Sure, you can be content day to day, that's totally okay, but in the retrospect of your life, and in the overall thing, like no, you should be ambitious. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm gonna start a multi-million business, whatever. Like okay, like you're at a job, like okay, I want to have that promotion, I want to do this, or I just want to do something better, oh, I want to do really well in that project, oh, I want more responsibility. You just need, and or work or life or whatever, like or even it can be something as small as like, you know what, I really just want to make cuter lunches for my kids. I don't have kids, I don't know, but I'm sure that's something I would want to do because they look so cute. Um, and I would just make my husband eat like the scraps and he would love it. And the kids would be so happy. Like, I don't think kids can be sad eating like a flower shaped cheese. I don't know. But, anyways, oh my god, where was I? This always happens. But yeah, you need ambitions. Like you need to want more for yourself. Like you cannot keep having that loser energy. Like, okay, great, you accomplished this, but like, do something, like I don't know, like have ambition. It can be in any part of your life. Like you're smart, choose one. And I think the fifth and final thing is like you need to surround yourself with like good people, people that you actually like. And which is so hard, and like I feel like this is something that like I have really been struggling with because I moved to Charlotte a year, oh my god, this year actually hasn't been a year, but I moved to Charlotte this year, no friends, no family, it was just me, my husband, and our two dogs, and we still don't have a real community here, and like we're not upset about it. I think I was like in the beginning, and I was like low-key really desperate for friends, but like as I'm kind of healing, and as I'm like learning how to live life, and kind of do all this whatever, I realize like that's probably for the best. Like unless like friends come up that are like so life changing, and like that are great, and that like we love their energy, and we are like we feel like are kind of like in the same level of life and everything as us, like we'll of course be friends, and we do have a couple friends, but I feel like we're so picky with who we hang out with, who we give our energy to, and if someone is like gives like loser energy, or like bad negative, and when I say loser energy, I don't mean like in terms of job or career or anything, but I just mean in terms of personality, then like we don't want to surround ourselves with them. Like sorry, no, I'm not gonna like who you're around really influences what kind of person you are and what kind of thoughts you have, and like it's so hard not to be influenced. So I want to be around good people. I don't want to like be around people that are constantly sucking the energy out of me, that are constantly gossiping and speaking negativity. I mean, I love a gossip now and then. Do not get me wrong. Like I love to hear the tea, but you know what I mean. Like some people just it's like that's kind of their whole life. Or just constantly talking about weight, and constantly talking about like constantly comparing themselves to others. And it's totally okay to like take a step back and be like, you know what, like they're in a different point of their life. That's totally okay. But I'm gonna do something else. I think that's all. Those are five reasons why your life probably sucks, and these are all fixable, guys. This is nothing like, oh, like your life is always going to be like this. No, it's not. And also, I have so many videos on my channel that really help with like mental health and stuff. So I know one of the biggest reasons that your life probably sucks is because you're probably anxious or you're depressed and stuff. So that plays a big role. But I feel like all these tips I go really play into it, because like we're not anxious just out of nowhere. Like anxiety just doesn't come from anywhere. It obviously has a root. Depression has a root. Everything has a root. So, and I think these all add up to it. But anyways, that's my spiel. I hope you guys like this kind of videos. I know I spoke really fast, but this is just how I speak. Um, but yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear about next. I'm just gonna keep making videos and keep being myself, because this was really fun. And I feel like everything just flowed out naturally, because this is something I'm very passionate about. Like I don't want to live a life that sucks, and you shouldn't either. And you should not compromise because it's fine, or this is how it's supposed to be. No, it's your life. You only have this one life. Like make it how you want it. Make it. Is that a Miley Cyrus song? Hannah Montana. Life is what you make it, so make it rock. Literally, literally, life is what you make it, so make it rock. Like why spend all your time being sad? Why spend all your time with loser people? Why do stuff because you're not happy? Why say yes to people and compromise your own happiness? You don't need to. You can say no. You can protect your peace, protect your energy, and that's it. Bye guys, love you.